record to compete last time. Okay, well, welcome everyone. Tonight we are going to go over lots of different things, health. And I want to start off by welcoming you tonight. And disclaimer, my 7-year-old could run in anytime. Hopefully he has his PJs on. But that's part of what I love about this business is we can really, work it around our lives. So the first thing I want to hear from everyone is, we all have something going on with our health at any given time. So I'd love to see in the chat before I share my screen, what kind of things are people dealing with? So just drop it in the chat with whichever you're dealing with. It could be energy, digestion, it could be pain. Got a few more coming in here. What pain and energy? What else do we have going on? So lots of different things. I know for myself, when I started, I was exhausted. I'd say depleted a lot of the time. I had some hip and some feet pain at the time. My boyfriend had really bad heartburn. My mom had high cholesterol. So we're all dealing with something. Sleeplessness, tired, as well as pain management. All right. Okay. Awesome. So tonight we're gonna really talk about solving some solutions. And a lot of us on here have been using the Trinont products and been blown away by our experiences. I know I started using the collagen, and with 2 weeks, I had more success and wins in my health than I had using a lot of other different things. So I'm just going to share my screen here and get started. Okay, so the company that we're talking about tonight, right, go back one, is Trinont. So Trinont means to change life with stealth, and that is what we have been experiencing with these products, is really some profound impacts in our health in a short period of time. So Trinont was founded in 2013. And a few of the things that are really impressive about this company is that it is in the Inc. 500. So it's one of the fastest growing companies in the US. And we're really excited because here in Canada, we just officially launched in August. So that is actually when I got my hands on a bottle of this collagen, which also makes it a very exciting business opportunity, which is why some of us also jumped in. So a few of the things as well, here we go, that we love is the commitment to the quality of the product. So everything is gluten-free. There are no parabens, there's no artificial colors or flavors, and most of the products are whole plant-based, except for a few, including our collagen, which is grass-fed bovine, and we will talk about that more later. We love that it's third-party validated and tested. It's GMP certified, which stands for Good Manufacturing Practice, and that just means it's a really high quality supplement. And for those of you who don't know what synthetic vitamins are, it is what is 95% on the shelf in your Whole Foods stores. Oh, sorry, I have one more person coming in here. In your grocery stores, in even your naturopath office. So this is my multivitamin that I had for my naturopath. So the easiest way to look is to look at your vitamin C. And if it says something like ascorbic acid, that is a synthetic supplement. So that was a new learning for me. I know we have Jen and Mark on, and Jen is in the holistic space and she can add more to that. Anything you want to add, Jen, from your point of view of why you just love the quality of these products?
Sure, I can jump in here. So what you're saying is absolutely correct, right? The body only recognizes real food. The isolates that we see in a lot of other supplement products are, well, first of all, they're synthetic, they're lab derived. So molecularly, they might look the same, but the body recognizes it as, or it doesn't recognize it, which is what the problem is. And the other piece of the puzzle that makes Trinont better is that we have all of it's the whole formula. It's not just the isolate. So it's not just one nutrient isolate. Every product has enzymes and cofactors in order to increase the absorption to make sure your body's actually able to utilize those nutrients. Because the problem with those isolates is basically your body just can't absorb it. It's not available to your body. So your body's not actually getting the full benefit. It's getting just a small, tiny piece of absorption. And with ours, we get that full absorption, which is why we see the fast, significant results, is because our body's actually able to utilize the goodness that's in each capsule.
I love it. And I only started sort of learning more about why these supplements were working because I was so shocked at how I was feeling. And it's not just me. I've heard from a few different people who have started using Trinont products that they feel 10 years younger. Anybody else on this call want to feel 10 years younger? Because I just turned 40. And for me, most days I was feeling 10 years older. I'm not going to lie. So that's actually my favorite part. And that's why I love working with people like Jen. She loves the science behind it. I love the way I feel and the tens and thousands of testimonies that we hear from. And now that I've been doing it a few months, I'm just waking up to messages from people every day that literally give me goosebumps on how they're feeling. So the last piece before we go into sharing more about our favorites is our scientific advisory board. So literally we have some of the best doctors and scientists who are developing our products, and they really are the best in each area. So whether it's the collagen or the enzyme, and that is pretty unique and special. So we're going to talk about just some of our favorite products tonight. And what I have discovered in my time here at Trinont is there is a product for everyone. So everybody's bodies are a little bit different, but when you give your body what it needs, it can do some pretty amazing things. So the first one we're going to talk about is our digestive enzyme, and that is the Enrich. So here it is the Enrich. So it's a full spectrum digestive enzyme. And it also has a stabilized pre and probiotic. So I love that because you can take it in your purse, you can travel with it. If you're like me, I have one in my purse, in my car, in my kitchen. I have one pretty much everywhere. And we're going to show you exactly how it works. So the thing about the digestive enzyme is it's going to help you with your digestion. So I want to hear from you guys in the comments, what kind of things are going on with people's guts or digestion. So I'm going to tell you some that I've found from talking to people and myself. So we have things like heartburn, bloating. We're getting really personal tonight, guys. Constipation, or on the opposite end, the IBS, Crohn's. And I've heard a statistic that 74% of people are walking around with all kinds of gut issues. And we've all heard about the gut-brain axis, that your gut is your second brain. It can affect our hormones. It can affect our mental health. It can affect even our immune system, which is big this time of year. So it can affect lots of different things. I'm going to share with you what happened in our family with this one. And it was actually with my boyfriend, Trent, who's at bowling tonight. So you better believe he has his enzymes with him because he's having a dinner of beer and wings probably. So he had chronic heartburn, and we started taking 1 or 2 of these before we ate. And within a few weeks, I noticed that he wasn't complaining about heartburn. And I'm talking like after every meal, he would have to go lie down, take Tums, Gaviscon, like every single night. And in the 4 or 5 months that he's been taking the digestive enzyme, his heartburn has gone away. He knows his trigger foods, so sometimes he'll have to take 2 or 3, like on bowling nights. So I'm going to show you exactly how it works on a pack of pudding. As we know, this can live on a shelf in your cupboard for years. So any cooked or processed food, you need digestive enzymes to break it down. and I love doing this every time. Call it the kid in me, but it's like a little science experiment. And I have someone on tonight. I think she's here. Leslie, do you want to share with us your experience on the digestive enzyme while I put it in here? Are
Yeah,
you
for
there?
sure. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the digestive enzymes for me were huge. So of course I love the collagen, had really amazing results within my first month. My varicose vein shrunk away, my skin, my hair, my nails, everything was awesome. And then I brought in the Enrich because for my whole adult life, I've not ever really been super regular. It's put that in the comments. Probably every 3 to 4 days, maybe sometimes 5, 6, like it was. And when people talked about pooping every day, I was like, ew, that's way too much. Like that cannot be possible. But so when I was listening to Benny and we were talking about the Enrich, I was like, I gotta try it because I mean, I would love to be regular. And now I've coined this phrase of I'm a hashtag poop a day person because I'm like, I'm living the life. I poop every day and sometimes 2 times. But it's like, it's such a weird thing to talk about, but it's so nice. I also was going to say, I noticed the benefits in other areas as well. Like when I'm eating my food and I have taking my digestive enzymes, I feel fuller. I feel like I actually really am getting energized because I'm getting those nutrients and vitamins. I notice I have really dry scalp and have had for my whole life. When I take Enrich, it goes away. When I run out of Enrich, it comes right back. So I'm like, I am never going without. I like to poop all the time and I like to have a hair that's not full of, it's itchy and dry. So it's been amazing for me. It's one of my absolute musts for sure.
I love it so much. And Leslie's going to share a little bit later about her business testimony as well. But thank you so much for sharing that. And I always like to tell people a little hack I learned, which is if you have indigestion or if you perhaps eat something that doesn't agree with you, you can actually take a capsule and break it over your tongue and you can have instant relief. So I told my friend this and she messaged me yesterday and she was like, oh my gosh, it worked. So that's a little trick as well. And then my son, who's 7, he gets these like hiccups that are full body hiccups and he actually can't sleep. And he had bowel surgery when he was a baby. And so I just shake it up in some water or juice and he takes it in a shot glass and instant relief from his hiccups and upset tummy. So I love that they're whole food, so you can give them to your kiddos. Jen, anything you want to add to that? I know you.
Sure. Yeah, I was itching at the button there to unmute myself. You could feel it. So the digestive enzymes, a couple of things. So one of the things that it does is when you're able to process your food properly, it's also going to bring down the inflammation in your body. Okay. And a lot of us are walking around with inflammation. That's, if you're in any excess pain, if you have any autoimmune conditions, you are walking around with inflammation. Inflammation is one of the key components that locks in those autoimmune conditions. They're all alike that way. And maybe you've just got some side effects from medications you maybe have to take from that. So anytime you take a pharmaceutical, you are going to have a compromised immune system. So if you have to be on pharmaceuticals, that's going to be a sign that you need some extra support in your guts. If you eat processed food, cooked food, there's no live enzymes in those, you're going to have trouble because as we age, even that happens. If we eat processed food, if we drink alcohol, any of those things can start to bring down our ability to digest properly. And what happens when we don't break down our food, like our carbs, our proteins, our fats, when we don't break those down into the smallest molecular structure, which is what we need the enzymes for, our body can one, not utilize the nutrients and actually absorb it and use it in the functioning of our body. But it also, when it doesn't break down, it floats around as giant molecules that can't be absorbed and they wreak havoc on the body. Okay. One of the things they do when you don't break down your proteins properly, instead of amino acids, which is what are the building blocks of our body, we need that. Instead of amino acids, you're going to get something called uric acid. And that causes all kinds of problems in the body. So That's why it's so important. I think like everybody could probably, like, even if you don't think you have it, you probably would see a difference after using them. And then because it has those stabilized prebiotics and probiotics, it's just so beneficial because it's not only going to break down your food to be able to absorb it, but it's also going to feed your gut, which like your small, it's get all those probiotics and prebiotics and get to your small intestine so that your body can start being able to absorb those nutrients as well.
I love it. I learn something from Jen every time. And while we were talking, our protein or our pudding has broken down. So we get to actually see what it looks like. You'll see that it is liquefied. So it's not going to come out of you this way. I always like to disclaimer that. So on the opposite end of the spectrum of Leslie, who's now hashtag poop a day, our friend Beth, who has fibromyalgia, one of the things that she was experienced was IBS, and she would get it a couple times a week to the point where she didn't really want to be out of the house all the time. And within 5 months of taking the Enrich Before She Eats, she's only had IBS once. So that is a huge difference in her quality of life. And she's actually just back from Mexico, and she took those enzymes with her. So that is a little bit about our digestive enzyme, and it really is the cornerstone to health. And I'm someone who I didn't think I had any digestion issues, but I have noticed I don't get sick as much, as well as it just is a full elimination, which feels lighter and better. So that is one of our favorite products. We could go on about it all night, but we want to share some more with you guys. So the next one I'm going to talk about is our Glow Collagen. This is a liquid collagen, grass-fed bovine. The first ingredient is collagen peptides. Those are the smallest molecule of collagen. One of the things that I love about this collagen is that it has 10 grams of protein, and it also has an antioxidant blend in it. So our body absorbs the collagen better with vitamin C. And unlike some others on the market, our vitamin C is that raw, natural, not a synthetic. Collagen literally makes up so many things in your body. So we often see it for hair, skin, and nails, which if you have seen my hair, it has grown. Even my eyelashes were not growing anymore because I ruined them with false lashes, and my eyelashes are growing back. I can actually put mascara on them again, but not only for the beauty. I actually started taking it for my hip and my feet. And within 2 weeks, I had my plantar fasciitis, which I have battled for 7 years, start to go away very quickly, as well as pain in my hip, which I have had since my late 20s. And I can do so many different activities I couldn't do before, including running. So I'm going to get Jen to come on and talk a little bit more. A lot of people want to know what the difference is between the collagen. I can tell you how I feel, but Jen's going to talk a little bit about what sets ours apart and makes it unique.
Okay, so Benny mentioned that it's broken down into smaller peptides, okay? Collagen, the collagen molecule is quite a large amino acid chain, and our body has really tough time breaking that down for absorption, so we get minimal. So any of the powdered collagens in pill form, they're all going to have that long amino acid chain that is really hard for the body to break down, which is why there's only about a maximum of 30% absorption in those ones. Okay, it's not that they're necessarily bad, they're just not going to be as effective. Okay, so you might not notice any results. Okay, and then so now we talk about what is the technology we use to break it down, because a lot of companies, and you won't find this on the label, you have to go digging a little deeper into asking them, right? So a lot of them actually use petrochemical solvents to break down the collagen into peptides. And with Trinont, what we use is we actually use fruit enzymes. to break it down into the peptides. So which products would you prefer to use? The petrochemical solvent ones or ones that have been used like to be broken down with fruit enzymes, right? So that is a huge thing. So like Benny said, having the whole fruit vitamins, like the vitamin C from the whole fruit, is going to increase that absorption rate instead of just having that isolate, which often on a label, you'll see it as ascorbic acid. One of the other things that sets us apart is you will sometimes find collagens that have biotin and they'll have it in the label. But when you look at the amount of biotin in it, it actually isn't enough to do anything for your body. They just put it in there as a marketing strategy because we all hear about how biotin is great for us and we should be having it. But when I was listening to a doctor talk about our collagen, because she was asked to analyze our collagen, she was talking about a clinical dose of biotin, and that she was so hyped up about our collagen because it's the only collagen on the market that actually has a clinical dose of biotin that is actually going to make an impact in the body. So again, another reason why we see people having such fast, dramatic results, right? Is as we have the quantities of the ingredients that is necessary to actually see that impact. Another thing that makes us different is a lot of collagens on the market don't have any protein. Right? They don't have the protein. So a lot, as women, especially, we're all women on the call at the moment, except for this guy. We often we need more protein as we're aging, right? And our body, again, doesn't break down our proteins always the best, but because these are broken down, our body can literally drink all this up. Okay. What else makes ours different? Yes. Cassie, you're asking if we need biotin?
Yeah, because you hear about that. People take it, but we do need it in order to break down the collagen. Is that right?
It's not necessarily, no. It just increases the results. It's kind of a synergy that they work together to create the results that you get with it. So it helps with the hair skin part. Okay. So they work synergistically together. It's not necessarily necessary for the collagen.
But they give a dose. What's the dose they give again?
The
Biotin?
4,500 micrograms is the clinical dosage.
dose.
So if you're reading a bottle of collagen in the store or online or whatever, look for that. It needs to have 4,500 micrograms. Okay. A lot of other collagens on the market will also have things like fructose, sucralose, sucrose, all those words. And so I'm really happy that ours doesn't have sugar. So it's really a great product for anybody with blood sugar problems or metabolic function issues or things like PCOS, diabetes, that sort of thing. This is going to be not compromising the health of anyone who has trouble managing their sugars.
So awesome. Thank you, Jen. I have Tina, who I think is on tonight, who is going to share her amazing testimony of the collagen. She may have dropped off, but I was talking to her today, so I'm going to share for her. And if she jumps back on, she can tell you a little bit more for herself. So one of the things, if you're a visual person, I've heard collagen been described as WD-40 for your joints. And Tina was sharing with me today that she has a lot of knee pain. She wears a brace, and she was telling me today that she is wearing jeans for the first time because she does no longer has to use her brace from taking her collagen less than a month. And so she is able to put on her pants, and before she could only wear leggings. You guys, that is huge. Beth is my other friend who has fibromyalgia, and she was actually taking it for a couple weeks, and her daughter said, "Mom, you're not reaching for your cane and you're actually walking a lot better." So it can do just fantastic things. I've experienced such relief from my plantar fasciitis. I think she had to jump off, but if she comes back on, we'll get her to share. The next one we want to talk about is my favorite morning drink. It is an amazing product, and that is our Mojo or our Zest. So this is a nootropic drink. It comes in a coffee, a chocolate, or it also comes in a zest. You can do it hot, you can do it cold. This is going to stimulate your brain. It's going to have stabilized energy throughout the day. I replaced my coffee with the Mojo, and what I have noticed the most is that here it is at 7:30 at night, and I have more energy than I used to have. My friend Charlotte, who I was talking to earlier today, she says that she's yelling at her kids less because she has more patience and she's just overall happier. I've known her a long time, and she's been on the products now for a month. And it's like we have her back. It's like she can be happier, and it just, as Leslie, who's on, says, it like boosts up the volume in your life. Mark, do you want to share your love of the Mojo?
Sure. Yeah, no, I typically take the chocolate Mojo. The coffee, Brazilian coffee, is an excellent product, but I prefer the chocolate. I put it in a travel mug, an insulated travel mug. I have it very hot, so I sip it over the course of a couple of hours. But what I find is I get a sustained energy throughout the day, where literally, if I drink it in the morning, I'm good right up until night. I don't get any jitters. I don't get any negative effects that you might get from coffee. I just seem to get the benefits, and I'm more like, as I'm doing stuff, I find I'm more inspired. Instead of, it being 5, 6 o'clock, I'm like, yeah, I'll do whatever I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm like, no, I'll do a little bit more. So I love it from that aspect. From the driving aspect, I used to drink Red Bull, and, I would drink 2 or 3 of those. And, I no sooner finished one that I was opening up another one, because it just didn't sustain me. It didn't give me that spike that I needed. And I find with this that, once I'm done consuming it, I'm good for hours. And, I haven't touched the Red Bull since, because, to be honest, it doesn't give me what I need.
So amazing. And I have heard that from so many people who have taken the Zest or the Mojo. I know Cassie's on, and her husband drives at night, and he takes the Zest with him, so no longer needs those energy drinks that we know aren't good for us. I also have some people who work night shifts. So if you know anybody who's a nurse or works night shifts, they absolutely love this product because it's helping them work in the evenings. I want to see any parents on. I know Leslie on, she has 3 kids. I am a single mama, and my boyfriend has 3. So between us, we've got a lot of kids. Anybody have those late nights? I know Jen was in the hospital, and Jen and Mark had their son in the hospital last weekend. My son's been sick and up all night, and I can now function on like 4 or 5 hours of sleep when I have my Mojo, and I would kind of be like a zombie the next day. So that is a little bit about the Mojo. So if you're someone who's looking for some energy, this is just a game changer. So I'm going to talk about a few of my other favorites really briefly, and then we're going to talk about how you can get your hands on some of these. So the other one I want to talk about is one of my absolute new favorites. And here's the thing, is you just kind of keep discovering new ones. And that is our Optimize, which I can't find here. It's probably in my kitchen. And that's the proteolytic enzyme. And I just got it a couple of weeks ago. So it's good for a few different things. It's good for any inflammation. It can be good for headaches. It can be good for allergies. It can be good for fighting off viruses, migraines. So my experience with the Optimize is that, as I said, my son has been sick, and I felt the cold coming on, and I had heard that it can really help fight viruses. So I took 2 at night, 2 in the morning. And because it's not an over-the-counter pain medication, you can actually load on it. So you can take it a few times a day. And yeah, it is an a natural anti-inflammatory. So it can act like a Pac-Man on the rogue protein in your body. And that is one that I feel like everyone should have in their toolkit. I know, Mark, were you taking it for your shoulder, or Jen and Mark, do you want to talk a little bit about this one?
I do CrossFit and I use it for recovery. So fitness recovery, it's really great for fitness recovery as well. Mark, actually, I'll let him tell you what he used it for.
Yeah, I working in concrete, I actually got, now that I can't remember. the name,
Tendinitis.
Tendinitis, thank you, in both of my elbows. And I can safely say now that it's gone. And, that's been taking Optimize sparingly, because we had one bottle for 3 people for the first little bit. So it wasn't even taking it as recommended, and with the collagen, and it's a little more than a month and a half, I guess, at this point. And I'd say I'm 100%.
When was the last time you kind of felt pain with it? It's been a while.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah,
you've been
no, it
taking
had
it
gone
for-
down after a couple of weeks. Like it was about 90% after a couple of weeks. But you have to keep in mind, this pain I'd been dealing with since the end of July of last year. And it just persisted and it wasn't going away. It didn't matter if I rested it. Normally when I was younger, and that's when we talk about being younger, you'd have a problem and, you'd rest for a day or maybe 2 and it was gone. Well, not anymore. And it hasn't been that way for years. And in regards to this lingering was going on for the better part of 6 months. So I can only attribute it to that, because that's all I changed.
So awesome. So there's one other one that one of my friends introduced me to, and I have just started this one. It's the Renew, an antioxidant complex, really great for balancing blood sugars. It can be really good for lowering cholesterol. My mom is taking it for that. There is actually a whole book written on this by one of our doctors called The Truth of Vitamin C. Really good for anyone with diabetes, so blood
Vitamin
sugars. What did I say?
Truth about vitamin E. I think you said vitamin C.
Oh, the truth about vitamin E.
Truth about vitamin E. Yeah, I just finished reading that today, Benny.
Amazing. Anything you want to add about that one?
So he in trial, he used it to treat all kinds of things. Of course, we can't claim to treat or anything, but the doctor can. So reading the book is crucial. But all kinds of autoimmune and fatty liver he mentioned, and the high blood pressure, and it was able to show lowered cholesterol. One of the things that is unique about this one is it's not the usual vitamin E, which is tocopherols that we usually see in products. So if you see vitamin E in your label on another supplement, it will, in brackets beside it, most commonly say alpha tocopherol beside it. And what he discovered is the tocotrienols actually are 50 times more potent, and they work as a 50 times stronger antioxidant. And so this product here is the delta and gamma tocotrienols, which have been shown in studies to be the most effective antioxidants that are known in the world. So that's again another reason why we're seeing the better, faster results, right? And also, like, I've also been reading stories about like hormone, right? Like hormone health, menopause type, women hormone type stuff. It also being really, really great for that. I've read lots of testimonies of women who are entering menopause or in menopause, and just having like all of the symptoms that go along with it kind of fade away once they start taking this product. So really incredible.
So fantastic. So we went through a lot of different products tonight. So I want to hear from everyone. And if you're taking the products, can you put your top 3 in the comments? And if you are here tonight as a guest, we want to hear from you. Which ones are just jumping out at you? We had that digestive enzyme, the Enrich. We had the Collagen Glow. We talked about the Mojo, the nootropics, as well as the Zest. We talked a little bit about the Optimize, the Renew. We want to hear from you. So amazing. So I'm going to go back and share my screen in a minute. I know we talked a lot about testimonies tonight, but I'm going to show you a few of our photos because that for me is amazing. So one tip I have for anyone who is starting to take our products is take pictures of everything. So this here on the left is one of my friends, Nicole. She's actually the one who introduced me to the products. And this is her after just 2 weeks of being on the Glow, the Mojo, and the Enrich. And we heard Jen talk a lot about inflammation in our body. You can see, she said she lost about 5 to 7 pounds, but it was really her body composition that she felt. And then on the right, this is Trent. He jumped on the scale just to see what would happen when he started that Enrich, and he was down about 7 pounds in 2 weeks. So that is pretty great. We talked about the Collagen Glow. So Leslie, who's on, do you want to give a little wave? This is Leslie's leg and a month taking the Collagen Glow, and she actually couldn't find her veins and they actually sunk back in. And you can tell by her freckle, she was like, I had to go by the freckle on my leg. And she called me in tears, which was just fantastic. This is our friend Lori, who did what we call a collagen load. So she did a triple dose for a month. And you can see her cellulite. Looks like someone took an iron to it. And then this is pictures that I've taken of my collagen journey. So you can see my hair is just really healthy and growing, which backstory, I could not grow it for the life of me after I had Maverick. My nails started growing, and you can see that this is a scar I had from a surgery 2.5 years ago. And the scar started fading to the point where it's almost gone. So it's just pretty cool to see when we say impact products and short amount of time, we really mean it. And then this one we didn't talk about at length today, but this is my friend Beth and myself with our Rejuvenate skin cream, which replaces everything. So if you're looking for better, brighter skin, this one is amazing. It replaces everything. So we have a couple testimony groups. So whoever invited you tonight will add you to their favorite. I really like the Ripple Effect. There's also one called Changed Life. And there are thousands of testimonies of people in here who are having results. So one of my favorite things to do is if I'm dealing with something or I'm thinking of a friend of mine or trying to help a family member, I go in and I search what I'm looking for. So today, my friend was sharing about her back pain. So I went in and searched back pain. So you can poke around in there and look at all sorts of different things that people have going on. The next thing I want to talk about is how you can get your hands on these products. So there's 2 different ways. You can be a customer and reach out to whoever invited you tonight, and they'll be happy to give you their website. You can also be an associate. And that's what I recommend for everyone, because I don't know about you, but if your plantar fasciitis is going away or your hair is starting to grow, or like Mark, his tendonitis is going away, you're going to share with other people. I want to hear from people. When you were listening tonight, was there someone else in your life that you thought of? Like for me, when I heard about the vitamin E, I called my mom right away. When I heard about the pain, I talked to my friend Beth. So this is why I recommend being an associate. So then you get your own website, so you can give it out to your friends and your family when they like it or love it. And then there's a whole bunch of other bonuses as well of being an associate. A few things I like to mention: you always get 10% off when you subscribe, either as an associate or a customer. You get another 4%, so a total of 14% off when you order 3 or 4 products, and then 18% total with that subscription price of minus 18% when you order 5 or more products. So that is the difference and the way to be able to grab these products that are just so amazing. I'm going to show you a few of our associate packs, and I want to hear from people who are on the call tonight who have their packs. Which one is your favorite? I might get someone to share. Anybody want to share which one is their favorite? Jen and Mark, do you want to share which one's your favorite?
Well, I like to go big and, go big or go home, right? So I love the Platinum Pack for many reasons. One, it gives you the opportunity to try, and it also gives you the opportunity to have a little bit of extra so you can share. And I love that it comes with 20 coupons to give away. So these are here in Canada, it's $13 off. So you can give those away to your first customer so they can get the opportunity to try it at an even bigger discount. So that would be on top of the 10% off that they could get. And it just gives such a great variety. And I mean, it with the discount of, you save over $800 with it. So I
That's
love the large
amazing.
pack.
And I love that there's something for everyone. So if your budget is a little lower, you can go for Silver Wellness, which has 3 of our impact products in it: the Enrich, the Mojo, the Glow, and it also comes with Boost, which is an amazing product as well. There's a Radiant Beauty and a Bronze Beauty as well. So if you're really looking to take on your beauty, that is a great one as well. So whoever invited you will send you those options. And then I just want to talk about a couple other perks of the business. And I have Leslie on tonight. So we also have a Jeep program. Leslie, do you want to share just a quick snippet of your experience with the business and what it has provided for you besides that beautiful red Jeep?
I know, isn't she pretty? I call her Ruby. Anyways, yeah, so for me with the business, I think we talked about this before Christmas. I was, before Christmas isn't really usually some time where you go big on things that aren't, for your kids when you have 3 kids, but I just had this real gut feeling. So I went for it. I got the Silver Wellness because I knew I wanted to try those 3. And I have just found it to be so wonderful as a business. I've done other direct sales businesses, and I just found it wasn't the same for me. When I connected with people, I always felt like I was bothering people. I didn't feel like I had something to offer per se. Now I talk to people without any problem because what I know is I have something that will help. And what I'm seeing is this huge impact on the people in my life, and it just propels me farther in my business. And so I've just found it to be, like you can attest, Benny, we worked together before. I've never moved this quickly. I've never been more at ease. I was saying to someone today, I don't want to ever go back to another job. I'm currently in university full time, and I'm like, maybe I'll scale that back. Like there's so much joy that comes from this. And again, it's like, I think we were talking about this last time. It's the catalyst for me. The word that I would use to describe Trinot and the products they were the catalyst to take me from where I was headed, which was not good and an unhealthy place for me, and has just shot me forwards into this really beautiful space with all of you beautiful people who are vibrating at this completely different level. And we just lift each other up, and it's so wonderful. I used to get really down if I, offered something to someone and they didn't want it. And now I'm like, all right. And I'm just completely like, whenever, I'll just keep going with my stuff. So I've just found it to be like a life changer for sure.
And I have known Leslie a long time, Beth a long time. My boyfriend Trent is at this Jade level. You can see him with his Jeep. I am loving seeing people win, and I'm also just loving seeing so many people win, not only in their health, but also business. I know Leslie is a single parent. I'm a single parent. My boyfriend's a single parent. So whether you're looking for an extra few $100s a month or thousands of dollars a month, there is an opportunity. Do we have any other questions about the business or anything else anyone wants to share? I'm just going to share really quickly that I actually came over from a previous company, and it was one of the hardest decisions I made to make a move, and I might get a little teary, but I resigned from that company on December the 10th. And in January, my second month in business, I surpassed my income level at my previous company. So for a single mom, that looked like me fixing a toilet leak that I couldn't afford. That was, potentially going to ruin my floor. And that was putting a roof over my child's head. This business, I've been in the industry for 7 years, and I have just been so impressed by this company inside and out, from the products and everything that it has to offer. And I always tell people, I share the income part, not to impress you, but to impress upon you that anything really can be possible. And I know Jen and Mark, who are on tonight, are just amazing, not only, as you've heard from Jen, in the product arena, but amazing business minded people as well. Do you want to just share briefly what this has made available for you in a short period of time, as I wipe my tears?
Absolutely. So we just got started, like really going into the business last month, and we have already promoted to Pearl. We're on our way to Ruby, which is like, we did triple promotion last month. We're going to promote to the 4th level. We're bringing in more income. We're going to be bringing in more income within just a few months than we were after 13 years with our previous company. So that is insane to think that. But what is just so fun to really help other people win. So it's the business model that is really different. The business model is set up so everyone wins. And I think that is my biggest joy, is the fact that I'm not going to be the only one running around earning trips and driving a Jeep. Everyone's going to be running around driving a Jeep, earning trips. Everybody can do that with this. And that I think is just, everybody gets that opportunity to give back and share. And it's just everybody, the training, everything's just like such a higher caliber than I've ever experienced before. And that I'm going to convention next month. We are going to convention next month. And I am so excited about that. So yeah, we're shopping for a Jeep. We are this close to earning our first trip, and we are just getting started.
So exciting. And you can hear that we're all just really excited about being here. So please reach out to whoever invited you tonight. If you have any questions, let us know. We are here to help and answer them for you. And I just want to thank everyone for sharing tonight, and have a really
There's
good
a couple of
night.
questions in the chat.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Yeah, I will answer.
Okay.
I just saw Kayla's question about the products, like interacting with each other. So because that's kind of like, if you had a salad and you had some fruit in there and some veggies in there, and you had a piece of bread on the side, that's kind of like putting all of our vitamin supplements together, okay? Because they are whole food supplements, so they're not isolates. Isolates, you have to be careful because you might get too much of one vitamin, which can cause a problem with another product. But because these are whole food, our body can actually utilize it in a whole food type way. I hope that makes sense. I did find a really cool chart that I can share. So I can share this chart. It actually just says when it's best to take certain things. So it's not necessarily that it's going to interact negatively with another product. It just benefits us most if we take things at certain times of the day. Like on an empty stomach, one product might be better for you. In the evening, something might be better for you than in the daytime, and that sort of thing. So I can definitely share that. There is no nuts in the products either that I have seen. But yeah, I can
check on that.
confirm
But
all that.
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
Good
I have
question.
not seen any. There is definitely no shellfish or fish, because we know the products are all vegetarian except for the bovine collagen. So we know that for sure there's no fish products. I know that I saw that question earlier. Did I miss any other questions? Was there any other questions?
Correct. And no gluten as
Yes,
well.
everything's gluten-free as well.
Awesome. Well, if anyone has any other questions, you can reach out. I love that analogy of the salad, Jen. That was great. I've never heard that before. So good. Well, good night, everyone. Thank you for coming, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Benny.
Bye.